This is Brother Teacher. I'm going to touch for a moment on the subject of Steven Seagal, actor and martial arts master in Aikido. And I've spoke on him here in recent months, asking the question why so many people dislike them. And I've seen and heard people's comments that he was arrogant. They pointed out that he's a has-been, and that he's a liar, a chronic liar, that he's made a lot of assertions about his past, and the fact that he also stated that he had met Bruce Lee at some point in time. And there have been some who have said and stated that chronologically it could have not been possible for him to have met Bruce Lee the way that he said. Anyway, and the list goes on. But that's not the subject today. The subject that I want to touch on just briefly is him giving no credit to a few martial arts practitioners and or masters of martial arts. Those statements that he made in this past interview that I'm talking about more specifically, I don't agree with. Now, one gentleman responded to one of my videos and said that I was giving Steven Seagal too much credit. Let me say this. Steven Seagal, from my observation over the years since I first saw him on film in the movies and also demonstrating Aikido, he is very proficient, very knowledgeable of his craft, and I give it to him. Now, the fact that he has gained so much weight, I don't know why. I'm sure that's a personal issue. It's not my issue. But as an instructor in any martial arts style and or system, if it's something that you can control in terms of your weight, then you should. And he is no exception. Now, with that said, moving on to the premise of this video, I watched a couple of interviews where he was asked about Michael Jai White, the martial artist and actor, and he was also asked about Jean-Claude Van Damme, the martial artist and actor. In the same breath, he said, "Can we go on to another subject?" When he was asked if either of these men were good martial artists for the most part. And then he went on to specifically say that Michael Jai White was not a tough guy, and he did not see him as a martial artist. He also said that Jean-Claude Van Damme was not a tough guy in martial arts, and he did not see him as a martial artist. And when asked about Chuck Norris, he went on to say Chuck was up in age, and he sort of alluded to the fact that he didn't see Chuck Norris that way as well. Now, Jeff Speakman, whom I admire, who was a student of former Grandmaster Ed Parker, he said he had respect for Ed Parker, but he didn't say too much about Jeff Speakman's qualifications as a martial artist. He sort of kind of played around that particular subject. But getting back to his statement about Van Damme and Michael Jai White more specifically, I take issue with him making that blanket statement that both of these men were not martial artists. Let's dismiss the fact that he said they were not tough guys in the martial arts world of film. Michael Jai White, and I'm giving him his just due, he is a great martial arts practitioner. Great. He is very knowledgeable, very skillful. I've said this before, but I've had people attack me because I said something that they didn't like about another aspect of Michael Jai White. Putting all that aside, I've never disrespected him as a martial artist because he is a very, very good martial artist. And Van Damme, in my estimation, if you were to make a comparison between he and Steven Seagal today, Van Damme would get my vote in terms of being more in shape and more healthier as a martial artist than Seagal. He has maintained his flexibility, his muscle tone for the most part, Van Damme that is, whereas Steven Seagal for the most part has let himself go. Now, I take no joy when another martial artist puts someone down just simply because of their inflated ego. In this particular instance, I believe that Steven Seagal was full of himself. Now, whether or not this is the mindset or mentality he has all of the time, the arrogance that I saw displayed in the interview, I don't know. But I can say in this particular interview or two that I witnessed, he's out of place. Because I honestly, sincerely believe that if Seagal, and especially if Michael Jai White, had to stand toe-to-toe with Steven Seagal today, that they would give him a run for his money. They would. One-on-one. They would. And I would venture to say that I would put my money on Michael Jai White at the end of the day in a match between he and Steven Seagal. So I don't know why he made that statement that these guys had not been credible martial artists, but it was inappropriate and it was unacceptable. Now I'm going to say it again before I conclude. Steven Seagal is a great Aikido master. I believe that. Jean-Claude Van Damme is a very good martial artist. Exceptionally skillful, exceptionally flexible. Michael Jai White is perhaps a little bit better than Van Damme in terms of technical skill. And Chuck Norris is a very good martial artist and has been over the years as well. And Jeff Speakman, very, very good practitioner of Kempo. So where Seagal got this notion from that these guys don't cut the mustard, I don't know. But that was it. And that was all. And I just wanted to weigh in and give my particular viewpoint as to what I thought about his comments about them. And if you have any comments yourself concerning this particular topic, please leave your comments in the comment section below. And I will try to, as always, respond. Even if it's a brief response, I'll try my very best to respond to your comments. Take care. This is Grandmaster Stroud, Brother Teacher. So long.